Ford, Public Administration Chair at Medgar Evers College, and Kenneth Vecchio, Republican strategist and attorney. And Ken, Senator Jeff Flake, Republican from Arizona, calls the ad shameful. Al Cardenas, the former Republican state chair of Florida, says it's despicable. Are they wrong?
I thought the ad was pretty funny. That said, look, this is obviously political propaganda. If I'm being fair here, there's as many American citizens as there are immigrants per capita percentage-wise who commit violent crimes, including murder. So the ad is a scare tactic. That said, I have a plan of what to do with our immigration problem.
Well, we're going to get to that in a little bit. But to Ken's point, it may be over the top. It may be totally misleading in terms of those images, but it does seem to work politically in terms of ginning up Donald Trump's base.
Yeah, sure. Racism can work really quite well. Rabble-rousing can work really quite well. But I've got to just facts are always facts. Indeed, the percentage of immigrants who illegally, undocumented immigrants who commit crimes is actually less than it is for the general American population. These facts are
absolutely not.
Okay, well, okay, we're not going to argue over sources because my sources are from nonpartisan.
My sources are from my own because I'm a criminal law expert. It is equal. And it's unfair to say
in your experience, I'll grant you your experience.
It's also not racist. Okay, there's no racism here.
But and perhaps let's put that to the side for the moment because we're probably not going to agree on that. But the point is that racism in its purest form it can work because if you appeal to the lesser angels of our nature, there's people for whom that will respond.
But this isn't racism.
Well, okay,
this isn't racism. Donald Trump.
The photos that are being shown and the clips that are being shown are meant to show these people because. Tell me this, okay? And I want you to tell me with a straight face, Ken. If indeed we were talking about instead of 5,000 people coming from Honduras, Nicaragua, and El Salvador, we're talking about 5,000 blonde, blue-eyed people coming from Norway. Do you think that the President of the United States, who, by the way, married 2 European immigrants, by the way, do you think he'd be talking the same way about these 5,000 Norwegians?
Yes.
Do you really?
Yes.
No, look
I
at
do
me
believe
and
so.
believe so.
I do believe so.
Truly.
I believe so. I don't believe there's 1 ounce of racism connected to this. It has to do with economics and resources.
You've lived in the metropolitan area.
We don't have enough.
Donald Trump is.
We don't have enough resources to cover the backs for all these people, and that goes into my.
As far as the resources, and again, give me 1 more minute, because there is this argument that when you show images in an ad that is totally misleading, and you suggest the Democrats. The ad says the Democrats want to let in murderers like this guy who wants to kill as many people as possible. That's not fair.
Look,
well, it's not true. It's not true in the first place.
The message could be sent a lot better. What we don't want are to allow people into this country with a free ride without first having them stopped right at the border, not catch and release, catch and hold. Give them a chance to get political asylum under 2 circumstances: if their lives are actually in jeopardy or they're going to be incarcerated wrongfully. Then we can allow them in. But there's no racism here, Doc. I have to call my wife doctor, so I'm going to give you the respect and call you doctor.
Okay.
And doctor, there's no racism here perpetrated.
Okay. Well,
that causes more problems.
Okay. Those people who have been victims of racism know it when they hear it, know it when they see it.
People aren't victims of racism.
Okay. Again,
we're not going to agree on this point. Let me push you on this, Dr. Ford, and that is there is this argument that people who claim asylum, even whether they deserve it or not, they're brought into the United States. The law requires them to get a hearing.
Yes.
But then they can drift off and go where they want, and whether they show up for the hearing or not. So there's this fear that all 7,000 people, if they're all claiming asylum, they'll come to the U.S. border in 45 days whenever they get there. They'll make the claim of asylum, and then they'll just
But just so we understand the process, making a claim of asylum doesn't just give you then the right to roam the United States, as you said, until there's a full and fair hearing. Okay, that's just not what happens, and no one's suggesting that should happen. There are various standards, whether it's based on race, it's based on religion, it's based on social group. There's a number of criteria under which you can claim asylum. Claiming asylum doesn't get you asylum. I'm sure we could agree on that.
We can agree on that, but they don't go roaming around. That's exactly what that does happen.
Is your plan to try to keep them outside of the border fence? In other words, on the Mexico side while they're waiting for this hearing? Explain how your plan would work.
My plan is that we hold them. I'm okay
Hold
with
them where? Hold them in the United States?
okay with holding them in the United States.
Like the 10 cities that Donald Trump has
I am
suggested.
okay with that.
Yeah, they had another name for that in Germany a few years ago.
Because
You know that,
there's too
right?
much danger. There's too much danger in allowing these people to go into our society because the vast majority of them do not return. And the ones who get asylum or who otherwise come in who can contribute productively to the United States, we should tax them. We should charge them an extra $5,000 a year while they're here working and tax them so that they can pay their way into potentially getting citizenship.
Ostensibly, if they
that
can
is
pay
fair.
Well, I guess in your universe it is fair, but of course, you don't
think it's fair that I say that these people can come into the United States
we live
if
in
they
a
have
country,
real political asylum?
The only people who have a different narrative than the people that are coming over that are coming up to the border, not over the border, are people of African American descent and Native American descent. Because black people did not come here voluntarily. Native Americans were victims of genocide in the process here. But
this was hundreds of years ago. This isn't relevant today.
To you, perhaps not.
It's not relevant to anybody today.
History is always relevant. But let me finish, though. My point is that everybody else are the children, grandchildren, great-grandchildren of immigrants. Shall we mention your hero, Donald Trump? Okay, he's a Scottish grandmother, a German grandmother. Well, no.
Who cares?
Ken, would you acknowledge, though, that the 7,000 mostly women and children, it is not a horde that is preparing to leap over the border fence and invade the United States and pose a challenge to military jets.
I am not frightened for my family and myself that these people are going to come in here and start taking out machine guns and blowing people away.
So then why do we need 15,000 troops?
That's another debate, and we're going to have that another time. Dr. Wallace and Ken Vecchio, Dr. Wallace.
We're still
Ken
good.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay.
Great debate. Thank you both for coming in. Appreciate it.
Appreciate it.
In focus, the Trump White House is cracking down on what it calls a